What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with us. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. It is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025, year of our Lord. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up to all of my friends and family in the building. How's the live stream? How's the audio? How's the video? How's the visual? How is everything before we get started? How is everything? Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing. How is everything, y'all? Is it clear? It's cool. So it wasn't like it was last night. Good. Good. All right. All right. You know, y'all, my video is a little blurry, but not as much as yesterday. Yeah, I'm actually uploading. I have about 15 gigs of video and content uploading into the cloud. So it should be clearing up. It's almost actually done uploading. It should be clearing up within the next 10 to 15 minutes if it's not as super clear as it should be. But everything is good. So I worked on this all last night because when got all of this Tesla equipment and or the Starlink and all of this stuff. So the Starlink is actually outside. Um yeah, did all of the instructions, made sure everything was set up, did everything. You know what I'm saying? Instructions was pretty clear. But after the live stream last night, I was actually working on making sure that I had a stable connection because the connection that they have here is trash. So I don't know if they're trying to save money on on this Airbnb or whatever like that, but I'm not feeling it. I wasn't feeling it at all. Messi says, Anton, take a nap. Oh my God, Anton, take a nap. Why you want me to take a nap? Why y'all want me to be missing in action, taking naps and all of that? What is that about? What is that? Yeah, I had to go and I got a Starlink at the crib, but I didn't bring it with me. But this is lessons. Lesson is now from now on, always bring the Starlink with me. Why y'all want me to take a nap? Y'all don't want me to stream. Y'all want to be bored at work. I'm messy. Y'all want to be bored taking care of your parents and all of the stay-at-home mothers. Y'all don't want to have some good times. Y'all don't want to talk about money. Y'all don't want to talk about people kicking in the doors with the door kick challenge. You don't want to go into Malcolm Jamal-Warner. Y'all want to talk about none of that. Y'all want to just be bored out y'all mind throughout the day. You want to be You want to go and have to tap into somebody else's boring live stream because y'all know that they be trash and that they just be going online just to go online, just to talk about a bunch of nothing, and they don't have no entertainment value. They can't give you no game. They're not educating you and none of that type of stuff. That's what y'all want to do? Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat before I get started. Rest is a part of good health. Who told you that I didn't get no rest? So I worked last night and then I went to bed and I didn't set my alarm. And I seen my daughter off. So she went to go do her weigh-ins for Taekwondo. And I'm gonna link it back up with her later. And I woke up when I woke up, and then I started to get ready to make sure that I live stream. What makes y'all think that I don't do no? Let me tell y'all what happens. Let me tell y'all what happens. The y'all look at me in my live streams. This is my pointer today. All right, this is a chopstick. Y'all look at me and y'all say, "Well, Anton don't sleep. Anton always working, so on and so forth." And that's true. But I do get 7 and 8 hours of sleep. And here's the other part about it is that it's not that it's not that I have more time in my day or that I don't do anything but work, because I do work a lot. The other part of it really is just that y'all are not meaningful with y'all time. Y'all are not meaningful with y'all time. When you really break down your day, right? And you say, okay, I got 24 hours in a day, 8 of it that I'm supposed to sleep, because I'm gonna tell you, you're really in bed for about, it's either one or two situations. Either you're in bed for 8 hours, but you only sleep for 4 to 5, because a lot of y'all doom scroll. A lot of y'all be doom scrolling. What is doom scrolling? You pick up your device when you know you're supposed to get into bed, and you get on TikTok, you get on Instagram, you get on any of these platforms. Some of y'all still getting on Facebook, and you just be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And your phone is actually supposed to be something that benefits you, but it's your worst enemy. So some of y'all, I actually get more sleep than y'all. Y'all just be laying in the bed, not actually sleeping. When I get into bed, I'm gone. That's it. So when I'm in the bed for 6, 7 hours, I'm sleeping for 6 and 7 hours. When you're in the bed for 6, 7 hours, you're sleeping for 4. You just laid down and you just got caught up on your phone all night. That's the first thing how you mess up your time. The reality is that y'all messing up y'all 24 hours. All right. While we see people coming in, and before we get started with the show, let me give you a little bit of insight, because I always like to add some value into y'all, some life advice before we get into the other stuff. You waste 2 to 3 hours and then you look up and say, oh my God, I got to get up in 4 hours. Oh shoot, I got to get up in 5 hours. I got to get up 3 hours. And you wasted all of your sleep time by scrolling, and you ain't get no value from the trash that you was watching. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when you are actually throughout the day, outside of you actually going into work, some of y'all actually going to work is good for you. When you go to work, after you get off of work, you don't do nothing. You don't do nothing meaningful. You waste so much time. You're not actually doing something. When I'm up, I'm productive. So if I'm not actually out doing something, like I'm gonna go to the competition, or I'm gonna go and vlog, or I'm gonna go take care of some business, or I'm gonna take care of some stuff. When I'm up, I'm moving, I'm grinding, I'm hustling. If I sleep for 7, 8 hours, and from the time, and then let's just say, for example, 4 hours out of the day, let's take an hour and a half for the bathroom, from the shower, all of that stuff, grooming, whatever, right? And then let's say you got another 4.5 hours to go and do whatever it is that you want to do. You talking about being in the streets, for me, like yesterday, I had to catch a flight from Vegas over to here. And then I did a 2-hour drive. I went and got the Porsche 911. I dropped the top. The weather was phenomenal. The traffic in Los Angeles, when I pulled it up on Apple Maps, it said it was delayed by 53 minutes. So it was really only supposed to take me an hour and 15, like an hour and 10 minutes to get to wherever it is that I'm getting out here. It got delayed an extra 50 minutes. So it took me almost 2 hours to get here. I dropped the top. So let's just say it took me between the airport, luggage, taking a shuttle to go over to the rental car company and all of that stuff. Let's say, and then kicking it with my daughter and hanging out with Rita and stuff. Let's say it took me 4.5 hours, 5 hour out of my day, right? So you take the 8, that's what, 13? 13 hours, right? That means I got an 11-hour window to kill everything. I have 11 hours to kill everything. Y'all waste the other 16 hours of your day doing nothing. 16 hours, bro. You could literally take over the world in 16 hours. You could take over the world in 16 hours. 16 hours a day. Do you know how much time that is? Do you know how much time it is for 16 hours? If I got 11 hours left after I do whatever it is that I want to do, go out to eat, party, or whatever, that's plenty of time because it ain't like it. It ain't like y'all spending time with y'all kids. You don't like your kids. Half the time you don't even like your chick, or you don't like your girl, or you don't like your man. So you ain't spending time with them. What else you doing with your time? If you take inventory of your day, y'all need calendars, honestly. If it's 24 hours in a day, and I spend 13 sleeping and another 5, or 13 sleeping in between sleeping and partying, and I got 11 more hours. You're supposed to be purposeful. If you're not grinding, if you're not hustling, then what you doing? What are you doing with your time? People be like, well, Anton, you stream a lot. That's my job. You go to work and you be on the call center a lot. You at the call center, you went for 8 hours and then you did 2 hours of overtime. Do I sit there and tell you, oh man, you at the call center a lot? No, you there for 10 hours and it took you a half hour to get there and a half hour to get back. That's your 11-hour shift. I don't get on you about your job. I don't go up on you and say, what are you doing with your time? If you see me actually working and being productive, right? And I replace all of the things that I did in corporate or all of the things that I did in business, and then this is my primary job, or this is the thing that I do the most. Why wouldn't I be purposeful at it? Why wouldn't I? If I'm a streamer, why wouldn't I stream? The problem with a lot of people is that they start their own business or they say that they're going to become a content creator and they don't put in the time. I tell content creators all the time, and I'm not going to deep dive into this because I got a content creator live stream coming up this weekend. I tell content creators all the time, okay, so this is what you want to do, right? Yep. All right. So you putting in 8 hours a day? Oh, I didn't know we were supposed to do that. You got to do that for any other job, at least full time. Why wouldn't you be? If I allocate this amount of time that I'm going to use to work a day, I'm going to use that time and I'm going to be purposeful for it. Why wouldn't I be grinding? Why wouldn't I put everything into whatever it is that I do? If I do it all for the job. When I was in corporate America, I gave them my all. Oh, I gave them my all. I did my job. I was great at it. I gave the best delivery, the results. I over delivered, under promised. I got up early. I stayed late, but I'm not supposed to do that for myself. I'm not supposed to grind. I'm not supposed to be improving my platforms. I'm not supposed to be hustling. I'm not supposed to be putting it in. So you would do it for somebody else, but you're not going to do it for yourself. I hate when I see people say stuff like that. I got a guy that sent me an email, or not even a guy. I don't even know who it was. It was a person. I'm going to just say a person. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. Sometimes you can't tell. Somebody has sent me an email, and I woke up this morning to it. And because, I gave like a little pep talk speech last night on After Hours. And they basically sent me an email and said, you're not going to be successful. Like, you're not going to be that great. I don't even know why you gaslighting yourself. Like, they were trying to talk me out of what it is that I know that I'm going to do. Y'all don't even believe in yourself. If somebody don't give you the battery in your back, if somebody don't give you a purpose, if somebody don't tell you that this is what you're supposed to be doing, you wouldn't even do nothing. You need guidance, you need structure. That's why we created schools. That's why we created the 8-hour workday. That's why we said that it take at least 40 hours. That was created because people don't know what they're doing. And so in order for us to give you a little bit of structure, you're gonna have to get this. But they really like they trying to talk me out. Y'all don't believe in yourself? You don't believe in yourself, man? Listen, bro. Let me just say this and we're gonna get started with the show. I believe so much in myself that sometimes I be wondering if I'm delusional. I be having to ask God during my conversation that I have with him in the morning. And I be saying to myself, I say to God, like, God, am I off about this? Am I off about this? Real talk. I talked to my some of y'all gonna look at this and you're gonna get tight about it. But you seen me make the phone call to my dealer. This morning he called me and he said, Anton, you didn't text me the spec or whatever. And I said, okay. So I went into the Lamborghini app and I built my spec. I built my spec. Straight up built my spec. And it's gorgeous too. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Where's my car? There it is. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Let me look at my configuration. Where's mine's at? Oh, I'm not signed in. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Let me get my code. And this will be the exact one that I get. There it is. There it is. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I don't even want to share my configuration code with y'all because I don't want you biting my configuration. I spec two of them. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. There it is. The actual rims itself has the exact same colorway, like the inside of the rim has the exact same colorway as the car itself, as the guts. Um, the wheels is carbon fiber. The ceramic brakes is the exact same color. Like you can literally see the inside of it and all of that. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I went with a burnt orange, just like a burnt orange. It's a Sportiva. But I also got the if you look at the actual mirrors, the side view mirrors is black because you can get it all the same color. The basic is the same color, right? If you just want to go with the basic car configuration, don't want to add any options, you're gonna probably spend close to 400. But you can option it for another 100 and some $1,000. So I just went all out. I said I want the top to actually have a black top. I want the rear to be blacked out. I want the Lamborghini logo blacked out. I want the mirrors to have a different color. I want the wheels to be carbon fiber. You know what I'm saying? Ceramic. I want the inserts of the actual wheels um to you know what I'm saying, to color match. I want everything. I want the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I sent him it, and then he sent me a bill. He said you got to put the rest of the deposit in. So he sent me a bill. He said, thank you for your payment. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for an additional your payment. He sent me the bill. And so I paid the bill. Nah, we're gonna go when you go up to the next level. I realize I don't want to do all white. I gotta, your car usually stands out a little bit more if you do something to it. You know what I'm saying? So, but what is the point that I'm trying to make? The point that I'm trying to make is when I go with somewhere, I want the best. I want the best. Somebody said, Anton, why did you choose the Lamborghini over the C8? Because I can have both if I want them. And more importantly, the C8, I tell people this all the time. In Michigan and Detroit, the Corvette is our Lamborghini. The Corvette is our Lamborghini. That's when it get warm outside, everybody pull out their Corvettes. They got Corvette clubs, and Corvettes and Mustangs is all they rock inside of Detroit. So I see them all day, every day. Corvettes is a thing. And I like the C8. And I still may get one, but that's our Lamborghini. We see them all day, every day, bro. And this will be my first Lamb. So Corvette is dope though. The Corvette is absolutely, absolutely awesome. But all I'm saying is this, man. Y'all got to start believing in yourself. And part of believing in yourself is not just mentality, it's how it translates into your everyday actions. If you sit here and you telling me, Anton, I can't get there, Anton, I can't be more successful, I'm comfortable where I am, that's cool. You're not breaking no laws, but I understand that that's also not your ceiling, but you just settled. You just settled in life and you're a waste. You're wasting your talent. If you tell me, Anton, I do want to be successful and I want to get rich and I want to be great. I ran into one of my bag chasers inside of the airport yesterday in Las Vegas, and he's a travel nurse. And I told him to get rid of his house and, put it all into real estate, put it all into investments. And he was thanking me yesterday, and he was saying that he had finished his first unit and he actually, basically has paid it off and all of that stuff. And he was on his way into San Francisco because he just put all of his stuff basically in his mother's garage because he's never home in Miami and he's always on the road. So there's no point in him having a house. And so he put all of that money over the last few years. He was one of my first earlier bag chasers. He put all of that money back into it. And so he was intentional. And he was saying, yo, Anton, I'm making an extra $5,600 on this property a month. I'm making this on this and I'm making this on this. And we just was kicking it in the airport. Like, if you're telling me that you want to be successful, but then you don't leverage your 11 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours that you have additional every single day, Monday through Sunday in order to get there, then I'm going to just be like, you lying. You're just lying to me. Now, if you telling me that you want to, Chucky, we don't care. You don't have to make an announcement. Just do it. We're going to run up the numbers no matter what. It doesn't really make no difference whether you're here or not. I promise to God. We don't care if you leave. We don't care if you stay. You are more than welcome to go and switch and go and watch some other piece of trash stream. We not tripping about it. I promise to God that we don't care. I promise you. On average, even just on the Anton Daniels channel alone, on average, we average 45 million, almost 50 million views a month and 79,000 new subscribers a month. It's not a secret. I promise you. It's right there. Yeah, it's no point in showing it. But the point, you see it. I promise you it's not going to make no difference. I'm going to clear more than $200,000 every single month just off of live streaming alone. It doesn't make any difference. I'm going to clear more than $200,000 every single month without any sponsorships, without anything else going on. I'm going to clear over $200,000 every single month, and it's going to go higher than that, and it's going to continue to increase. It doesn't matter who comes. It doesn't matter who watches. I'm going to be great. Nothing can stop the movement. Nothing is going to stop what it is that we got going on. Nothing stops the show. Nobody slows down the motion. I'm not gonna stop talking and giving my motivational talks just because you don't like it. It doesn't matter, bro. I'm going to kill everything. I'm going to be, and this let me tell y'all how much I believe in myself. Let me tell you how much I believe in myself. I believe in myself so much. I know this is when you really know that you really own a you see it, you executing on the plan that you believe that God gave to you, all of that. Let's say I'm clearing on regular 200,000 a month just off of content. That ain't got nothing to do with sponsorship, Teach Henley. Ain't got nothing to do with Patreon. Don't have nothing to do with nothing else, right? I know that this is like nothing. That this is going to be so small in the grand scheme of things. 2-3 years from now, I'll be clearing $1 million a month. So I don't look at this and be like, oh man, that's so crazy. I look at it and say, all right, so we basically broke a barrier in a milestone. How can we get to where we gonna be? What is it that I need to do in order to get to the thing that I know I'm gonna be at? That's how I see life. I don't see life in a lens of, oh man, I'm so happy. I was telling my homegirl the other day, I said, you got a dusty mindset. You know who you are. You watching right now. I said, you so dusty. Anton, why am I so dusty? Why am I so dusty? I said, because look how cheap you are with yourself. You treat yourself like a pauper. You don't even like, you know what I'm saying? Everything you do is, oh my God, I need to be the cheapest person in the room. I don't even like being around you on that type of time. Oh my God, but we come from the east side. We come from the west side. We born in the inner city of Detroit. So we came from nothing. Okay, I'm past that. I'm 43 years old. That was a long time ago. Where I was born is not where I'm going to end up. I cannot keep on being around this dusty mindset. I'm not that no more. I'm not that. I'm not that. I can't rock with that. Oh my God, that's a lot of money. To who? To who? To who? I'll be so happy to spend $50,000. I spent $20,000. I sent out a check for the roof. I spent another $20,000. I sent out $12,000 today in order to get the materials to build a deck for a place. And then I got to send out a $29,000 check because one of my properties, that's how much it cost me to connect it because it was a new build. That's how much it cost me to actually have my construction guys connect the sewer lines to connect it out to the street because, it was a completely new build. I'm excited to send out checks because that money don't mean nothing, but the progress is awesome. I'm looking to complete projects. I don't care about this dusty stuff. Wake up, y'all. Y'all got to change. I know that like the numbers seem crazy, but remember this. If I'm talking this, imagine what Jeff Bezos and them is talking. We like to limit each other. We got this dusty mindset where it's like, yo, you can't dream bigger. Oh man, we think being a millionaire is unattainable. It's 1,700 new millionaires every single day. That's a fact. There's people go. I can't wait to get to Monaco so I can see where the levels is, so I can see how far away I am from the people that's just from what average is in Monaco. Because we compare ourselves to the hood. We compare ourselves to, oh my God, it's rough out here. So many people are being laid off. There's people that don't give a fuck about being laid off. They so far removed from that. I want to be delusional. That's what I'm on. I want to be so delusional about success that when y'all sit there and y'all say to me when I do these live streams or I drop these clips and they be like, Anton is so out of touch. Facts. I don't want to be able to relate no more. Facts. I'm completely out of touch because they don't say that about Jeff Bezos. You don't tell Tyler Perry that he's out of touch and he a billionaire. Nobody holds people that have reached a certain milestone to this low expectation of what out of touch is. Man, people can't pay their water bill. I don't know that life. Y'all don't hold people outside of the culture to that standard. You don't say, man, they so far out of touch. You just be like, man, they rich. If I had that type of money, that's how we look at them. But then when it comes to us, when we finally get a little bit of motion and we finally start to look at things and say, you know what? It is attainable. We can break through. I don't have to listen to my high school teacher that told me that I ain't never got to be nothing. I don't have to sell drugs. I don't have to pick up a basketball. I can be rich too. When we start to look at it from that lens and say, wait a minute, the expectation, y'all sit there and call each other kings and what's up, queen, grand rising. And then you want to hold each other down and say, no, but you only deserve, or you should only be talking to this type of guy. Instead of telling her, wait, listen, it's not that you deserve a man with money, but you need to meet the expectation of what a man with money is. We need to change our rhetoric. We got to change our conversation. I'm trying to move the culture forward. I don't want to keep talking about dick and pussy in the same way that we talked about it from 2020. I'm over that. Now I'm trying to say, when I see a woman or a chick that say, I deserve a good man, I'm not just going to leave it on, yeah, no, you don't deserve a good man because you big and you fat. I'm going to say, listen, if you're looking for a certain type of guy, let me tell you what he's looking for so you can become the thing that you're looking to attract. Accountability is one thing. The next level is, okay, let me give you the blueprint of how you're supposed to get there. This is how we think. This is how you got to move in a certain type of rooms. Being educated is a plus. You should get educated, but don't lean into that as far as trying to justify whether or not you're supposed to be in the room. Let me show you how it is that you need to. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to evolve the conversation to being more than just these niggas that stuck at 20,000 subscribers and 30,000 subscribers. They'll never break through because they don't know what it means to move in the room. All they know is complaining about women. So then when I say, all right, listen, this is how you got to move differently. Or when I'm talking to my guys, hey, listen, fam, you want to have a level of dick discipline because that's going to elevate you from a business perspective and people will respect you more. And so it's not about how many women that you can bust down. It's more or less about how many women you can turn down. It's about when you get to a certain level, that shows that your character, yes, we can flirt, we can make content and stuff on the internet, but when it comes to how you see me moving in real life, this is how you got to do it. This is how you avoid ever getting yourself in a position where a chick can't go off on you. This is how you don't ever find yourself in a situation where somebody is taking your money. When you get this big contract, when you get to this level, when you get to this situation, let's use these popular cultural references to have certain conversations so I can show you how to get to the next level. We have to evolve in the way that we talk to each other. It's not that you broke. It's not that you can't have it. It's not that you can't be rich. It's because you spend the majority of your time around people that's begging somebody for reparations instead of putting somebody in a position to be successful. When I talk to my teams, when I talk to the people that I stream with, when I talk to the people that I work with, my expectation is higher for them because it's not about standing on business. It's about how can we do better business. We have to evolve. It's not just about this basic bullshit. Yes, you should be out of touch. You keep talking about how much you a believer. You a believer? So wait a minute. You telling me that you believe that God is omnipotent, almighty, all-knowing, and can give you anything that you want based off of your faith and how it is that you put work into it, but you telling me you supposed to be poor? How? How are we supposed to be poor if we're the righteous? If we're supposed to be the ones that inherit the earth? So you telling me you supposed to be a pauper? No, you supposed to be a king in heaven and on earth. That's what our prayers was since we was younger. My mother and my father put it in us. Bless us to be kings on earth and in heaven. I'm not about to sit here and struggle with you. I don't want to be around you because you always trying to penny pinch. You scared to give somebody a tip. I don't care about giving that person a tip. I'm going to give them a tip because I know that I'm going to make it back 200 times over. So I'm going to bless you because I'm blessed. I'm not trying to count your money and limit your exposure to greatness. I'm trying to figure out how I can get you to another level so then you can pull me up and then I can get to the next level and I'm going to pull you up.
trying to gatekeep blessings, trying to keep people down. That's so dusty. That is so ugly. That's an ugly spirit. You got a spirit of dust in you. Want to hold nobody? Hey man, you know you ain't gonna never get it. Look at this Norman is my hero guy. Never got a profile picture. They always ugly in real life. Everybody, think about it. Every single person, they never have a real profile picture of themselves. They're scared. They're afraid to reveal themselves because they're ugly in real life. And I'm not talking about physical appearance. I'm talking about their spirit. They don't see themselves as worthy of even being a focal point or present in real life, because the thing that they can't say online is the same thing that they would never say to you in person. I see you sheepish niggas watching me walk through the airport. I see you. You be scared. You be scared to say something. And I walk just like that. Chest out, big dog, shaking hands, grabbing you firmly. Patting, what's going on, big dog? How you feel? What's happening? Nothing. Just trying to figure it out. Hey man, I got this shoe company. What do you think I should do? Don't be scared, nigga. Ask your question. Your girl is sitting over there watching you. Ask your question. Be firm with it. Stand up. Look me in my eye. Stop looking away. Look me in my eye. I'm going to teach you how to be a man because you never had a father in your life. Ready to get started with the show? Y'all ready to get started with the show? It's time. We got enough people in here now. It's time. Shout out to DJ Second. I appreciate you. DJ Second says the best morning show on the net. I agree with that 100%. Mike, that dude in the building. I appreciate you, Mike, that dude. Good morning, AD, says Spencer Campbell. Molly said this is for the collection plate. What's up, Molly? What's up, my Molly, my little Molly? What's going on, baby girl? I look at her as my understudy. That's my understudy. Trey says, 80, do you believe work through people and point me in the right direction for my purpose in the Bible? Who should I study? You should be reading the entire word. And you're going to resonate with somebody. Some people, I love Paul. Paul is my favorite person in the Bible because he told the truth in season and out of season. Paul was so great because he believed. The reason why God felt like he can use him, even though he was one of the people that persecuted the saints, is because he didn't persecute him because he hated him. He thought that he was doing the right thing. And Paul didn't care. He didn't care if he was afflicted. He didn't care what people thought. He told the truth in season and out of season. He told it in real life and he told it in letters. So your purpose will be revealed to you through the work. It's not about whether or not you should look to somebody for guidance. It's you should look and read and study and then be revealed to you as you continue to work. So just keep going. It's going to reveal. It's not going to come through people. It's going to come to you specifically. Style says, "Sup, AD, me and my wife Ebony are celebrating 9 years of marriage today. What advice would you give us to get where you and your wife are at?" The biggest thing, and I say this all the time, the biggest piece of advice that I can give people is stop being petty, focusing on the things that you don't like about people. Stop being petty about the things that you don't like about a person. We spend too much time with the people that we're around focusing on the things that we complaining about. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to do that. They know. So the first thing that you got to do is you got to be the example because they're going to pay attention to you and then they're going to follow your lead. So I don't have to necessarily say, hey, we need to have more of a business mindset. I just have more of a business mindset. And then she just has to she's going to naturally adjust, right? Because she don't want to get left behind or she want to be in the same spaces as me. And so that's what you got to do. You got to first be the example. The second thing that you got to do, I'm not even paying attention to people with no profile photo no more. The second thing that you got to do is after that, focus on the thing that you like about the person. Affirm it, celebrate it, get into it. Bust it down. Whatever it is that's great about that person, spend 98% of your time on it, only 1 or 2% of the time on the thing that you don't like. You're going to have a phenomenal situation, bro. Chris Cunningham says, can we get a Shicey Time segment? I don't know what to do. I'm just chilling. I'm slow motion. Messy Mathematician says, Anton, you're the real life Truman Show. You need a nap. I want to see a picture of you sleeping. I don't think you actually sleep, but yes, I will be bored without you. Well, I got to give you what you want. 392Q says, I just watched Kirk Franklin pod and it's the truth. Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Alexander says, AD, do you rock with Aston Martin? I love Aston Martin. I love Aston Martin. I think that Aston Martin is great. It's a phenomenal brand, and I can't wait to get me one. Moses King says, what up, AD? I've always had an interest in law enforcement, but I'm currently stuck between becoming an ICE agent or a state trooper. I know it's not exactly a field, but I'd love to hear your perspective. I just think you need to go and do whatever it is that you want to do. I will be a state trooper. I will be a state trooper. I think the ICE agent thing is the popular thing right now because of what's going on with the illegal migrants. I think you're going to have more stability in being a state trooper. So I will be a state trooper. Carrington Love Jr. says, doors, ladies and gentlemen, I am painting the doors. There are no snow bunnies helping me paint the doors, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Carrington Love Jr. Jackson's Legal Nursing Group says, what are the benefits of going to city council meetings besides networking? You going to the city council meetings besides networking? I would go to city council meetings to learn more about what's going on, and then you just going to naturally attract yourself to the people that you're supposed to be attracted to. So go be familiar with the city council meetings so you can know what's going on in your city. Carrington Love Jr. says, I am painting. Oh, yeah, you said that one. My bad. Dang, I like to make $1 million a month. Then do it. Put the things in motion that'll put you in a position to eventually make it. Red Cup. Shout out to my girl, Mika. What up, Mika? I wish I had my soundboard. I'm blessed to be a part. Good morning, AD in the Bag Chasers. What's up, Mika? Candy Jack says, preach, Anton. What up, baby? What's going on? Username Delta says, what's I heard about you sooner, big bro? You found me at the time that you were supposed to. Grayway says they be in the airport like, I'm in the bind, AD. ADRM says, going behind these hypocrites in the pulpit will keep you poor. Chad for more says, love the speeches. Chris Mayberry says, I drove the Lotus Emira GT4 on a track last night here in the UK. It's a dope car. Yeah, ain't that the electric one? That's the electric one, right? David M. Williams says, just had my first newborn 30 minutes ago and we still in the building. Man, congratulations. We love new life. We love new life. Bless your newborn to have a phenomenal, awesome life, to be fulfilled in every way possible and to never disappoint their parents. In Jesus' name, amen. Cap Devil says, I'm 36-year-old black male single with no kids in healthcare leadership, love and life. Love your content. It has kept me focused on my path. Keep it up. Shout out to you. Congratulations. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with the show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, so the first thing that I want to tackle, speaking of life, is Malcolm Jamal-Warner. Now, I thought I had covered this to the extent that it needed to be covered the other day, but new detail has been emerged, and somebody sent me his last video that he posted to people, or to his followers, or to his fans, or to anybody that was rocking with him. They sent me the last video, and so I'm going to share that with you guys, and then we're going to deep dive into the details of what happened to Malcolm Jamal-Warner. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This was his last message to people.
What's good? Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. But it's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And you know, life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So find a smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
And as soon as somebody say that they're gonna be back soon, they never back soon. As soon as somebody said that they're gonna be back soon, they never back soon. It's bothersome sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you see these demons and you see these devils running around, and you know, they out here just creating havoc and chaos. And you be wondering to yourself, how do they live to be 80 and 90 years old? You know? How do people that are the worst for society and the culture live to be 80 and 90 years old? There's prisoners that be in prison living to be 80 and 90 years old has done some of the worst things on earth. You know? That's why I stopped making motivational videos for Instagram. Because it seemed like everybody that make a last video, a motivational video where they trying to be positive, they'd be like, all right, time to come on home. Snatchies. I don't make no motivation. Only thing I post on Instagram is me riding in the car. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. I don't do no, you know what, guys? Just wanted to tap in today and say, you are loved. You're special. Just wanted to get it on. Anytime I have a motivational message and I be thinking about myself, I'm about to post something on Instagram, I just go ahead and put the phone down. I just go ahead and put the phone down because every time we pull up their last message, it'd be like a farewell message. You know, my daughter, they put this in my ear and she told me she loved me today. I ain't lying. I am not lying. Every single time I be thinking about it. Me and my daughter is so, I think about my father, right? And I don't think that this is relevant to it, but as far as like it coincides, because you could be a good person, you could be a positive person, all of that, right? I think about my daughter because I think about my father. And my father, before he passed, we were like this. You know how y'all hate y'all parents? That was never me and my father. You know how you take to your mother? I took to my father. And we talked sometimes for 3 and 4 hours a day. And we lived next door to each other. That's how crazy it was. For the last, I would say, 5 years, maybe even less than that, maybe 4 years of my father's life, we spent so much time with each other at night because he was the maintenance man of the facility that you know what I'm saying, that I was in for free. So he had a townhouse and I had a townhouse and we were next door to each other. So anytime, right before sometimes I would go to bed or right before I would turn in, or I knew he was about to go to bed because he had to get up early in the morning, I would go next door and I would just lay on the floor and we would talk and we would laugh and we would kick it, right? And so we would have all of these conversations. And he always used to tell me, because he loved the pancake house. He loved the pancake house. And so I would tell him, I would say, you know what? I'm almost there. I'm almost there. We about to get you your restaurant, and that's going to be your retirement gift. And so, you know, he would just be like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so we started actually putting it together. A lot of people always talk about my restaurant and stuff like that. My first restaurant that I ever built, but I built it for him. I was building the restaurant. It was for him. It was his gift. It was the thing that he was going to be able to run because he was tired of working for people. And so, you know, when I got successful and when I, you know what I'm saying, got to the point to where I was financially in a space, we were working on it together. I fell off the roof. We got multiple different pictures. I'll show y'all some of the pictures of us building it together. He worked with the contractors. He was there after he got off of work from his maintenance job in order to ensure that, you know, the plumbing people did their job and all of that. So we were working together. The reason why it broke me so bad when he passed away is because we were at like the 75, 80% mark of finishing it. and it was going to be him. So my goal was to finish what we started, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny because the reason why I'm telling this story is because it's almost like we were so close that the day that he died, we had talked 2 hours before I had went into corporate. I was on my way into corporate America. And I was like, all right, I'm going to see you at the restaurant later on today. We got some contractors coming in or whatever, so on and so forth. And then I had, got the phone call. I actually got the phone call, I believe, from my family before I got the phone call from the police. And it was like, you need to come home. 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 I'm like, what do y'all keep asking me to come home for? Why are you asking me to come home? Stop asking me to come home. Come home for what? So I knew it was really bad. I was like, it's your dad. And so I'm like, oh man, here we go. Then the police called me and they told me what happened. And so that was it. You know what I'm saying? But it almost seems like, when I talk to my daughter, and me and my daughter have almost the same relationship as my father, and it's scary. It's super scary sometimes how close we are. When I walked into the door yesterday at an Airbnb, she was waiting outside for me, my 17-year-old daughter. She was waiting outside for me, and she says, what took you so long? Because she got my location or whatever, right? She followed me on Find My. And I said, what do you mean? You made a stop at In-N-Out Burger. You did this, you did this. So she started talking all about it. And so she comes outside and she just jumps into my arms. You know what I'm saying? Like our relationship. And so the first thing, and she like, you smell like outside. Why are you laying in my bed? You smell like outside. Why are you laying in my bed? I said, but that's because I had the top dropped. You know what I'm saying? And I was riding through. So then she just lays on me. And I'm supposed to be getting ready for the live stream last night, but I got my daughter laying on me, right? And we so close that sometimes it feels scary because it's almost like it's at that moment. It's at that moment where you're the closest to, the people that are close to you, that something is almost like happens. And I almost want to program myself and condition myself to say, we got to get out of this mindset because we so used to being in a negative space. We so used to hating people. We so used to divesting ourselves from family. We so divided sometimes that we almost think that having a blissful moment with people or having best friends or people that like you is the end of you. Oh man, you fulfilled your purpose. It's time for God to take you. No, it ain't. I'm going to be here for another 40 years, my nigga. It ain't time to go yet. People can love me. People can love you, and you could still have another 40 years on this life, on this earth. But it almost seems like every single time that you get that, you know what I'm saying, that thing. Every single time you get that message from somebody, you just, for me, I started to get worried a little bit, and I think it's just from not PTSD, but it's just from past experiences where it's like you see that person, and it's like they so good and they so nice, and it's like the next day they gone. But I'm conditioning myself to think differently. Real talk. Here's some of the details that they were sharing about him, about the whole situation and what happened.
Rican Beach, where officials say a dangerous rip current swept away Malcolm Jamal-Warner, the Cosby Show star, drowning in secluded paradise on Sunday.
What makes that beach so treacherous?
It's similar to other beaches where there are strong rip currents that are deceiving.
Mike Geist helps run a volunteer lifeguard organization here. He says while no lifeguards were on duty that day, Geist's friend, who happens to be a trained lifeguard, was there to surf and discovered Warner unresponsive in the water.
The first thing that they do is they bring him to the surface and give the emergency respirations
Right there
in the water on the surfboard. And when he didn't respond to that, my friend rapidly took him into the beach and they immediately began CPR.
These are the first things we saw when we pulled up to the beach. Signs in Spanish and English warning people about potentially hazardous conditions. This sign even giving a roadmap for how to escape a rip current.
Costa Rica's Red Cross says they were able to rescue another man alive who was taken to a clinic in critical condition. Meanwhile, tonight, the outpouring continuing to grow.
Blue suede shoes, hit it.
1 for the money, 2 for
the show.
Raven Simone, who played Warner's niece on The Cosby Show, posting this emotional tribute.
He was the big brother. He was one of the most multifaceted, talented men. So gentle.
In a 2013 interview, Warner said his proudest achievement wasn't the hit sitcom, but building a life beyond The Cosby Show.
If I die tomorrow, I know I would go with a smile on my face.
And with that, Jesse joins us now live from Costa Rica. Jesse, officials say Warner's autopsy is now complete.
It was completed this morning, according to authorities, Tom, and they say that it confirmed that Warner's drowning death was, in fact, an accident.
Yeah, man, it's so many people scared of water. I don't think that the most dangerous thing on the face of this earth is any terrorist. I don't think it has anything with a politician. I don't think it has nothing to do with war. I think that the most dangerous thing on the face of this earth is the ocean. The most dangerous thing, I think that the ocean is the most, and I'm not afraid of it. I've just watched too much. I've seen, we don't even know what's down there fully. We don't even know what the heck is in some of these bodies of water, bro. The earth is like 80% water. I think that the ocean, bro, is the most scary thing on not the zombie. I can handle the zombie apocalypse. People be scared. Water. Water is different. It's a different animal. It's a different beast. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with 10 of your notifications. Rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal-Warner. And I hope his family is okay. Tiny says, people who don't tip, biggest red flag on the planet. Straight up. And shout out to you, big dog. Malachi, Andrew Chapman says, for those nasty people, living is worse than death. Enforcer 2K9 says, why do the good die young, but the bad get life? Bet David Experience says, we've explored more space than ocean. Ocean is a man. Listen, bro. Just go, Nichelle says, 80, you don't know how much you set my heart free. It's okay to love and experience great things. Just completed my first 2 IT courses on the way to my cybersecurity degree. Looking forward to the next 40. Yeah, I love that. Congratulations, love. Howie Brown says, I finally added my ugly mug to my profile thanks to you. What up, Howie? What up, Howie? Bro, we love everybody. And let me say this. Stop saying you ugly. You're not ugly, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, how you project yourself is how people will respond to you. How people project themselves is how people look, man. Maybe I'm just weak for people right now. And that's why I'll be pushing so hard for y'all to be a certain type of way. We are all just regular, everyday people. We are all just normal people, man. I don't know what y'all listen. Maybe Instagram got us gassing ourselves or something like that. We are normal, everyday people. Everybody here, almost everybody here is a normal person. And I don't want everybody to look the same. I don't want to be a Sims character. I want you to be you. I want you to be you. And I'm going to be me and she going to be her. And it's going to be chill. It's going to chill. We normal, everyday people, man. Straight up. We just regular people. I love everybody. I think that everybody is cool. Listen. Let me time out Norman as my hero real quick. I hate people that overpreach that ain't even got nothing to do with the subject that we talking about. I love God. I don't need somebody to tell me every single, but God is what. Shut up. That's why people hate church. People hate church because you just so overzealous because you found you read a new word, you went to Bible study last night, and you got a new message, and now you just want to bombard people. Shut up. Honestly, the Lord says, have temperance in all things. Have temperance in all things. Before you go to bed, your girl is trying to get some sex and you keep on trying to preach to her. We got to pray before we do anything, right? Because we got to sanctify our bedroom every time. Shut up. Bust it down for a real one. Everybody, I can't stand these overly churchy people that don't know balance, because you running people away from God. Y'all be running people away from God, man. Seriously. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, those be the worst ones. Listen, you don't have to worry about people like me, because I live my life like an open book. People can criticize me all day. Oh man, I don't like the way you did that. That's not Christian-like. But you touching on little boys. Y'all be the worst ones. That I believe that some people are so overzealous about trying to overcompensate about God, because they have done some horrendous things and they trying to fix it in their life. So now they got to try to make up for all of the stuff that they did. I think they be trying to convince themselves that I'm a good person, because they know that they're not a good person. I think that they be trying to convince themselves that they're a good person because they know they're not a good person. Now, you need to get right with God, right? You just got your life together and you still not all the way there. You just got you one fentanyl pill away from relapsing. You just got off that boy. What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? You just got that monkey off your back because they put you in jail for 30 days. You ain't have no access to crack, cocaine, or heroin. Now you want to sit here. You just got out of jail. You a new saint. You a baby. You a baby saint. And you trying to preach to people. That's not how the order of things is. That's not how the order of things is. I'm an OG. I'm an OG saint. I'm an OG saint. Raised in a church, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost since I was 11 years old. I know this thing. I done seen your type. I know fair weather saints. I know people that's a saint today and they back in the streets tomorrow sucking dick. I've seen you before. You went through something. The church saved you, fed you, gave your kids some clothes, some hand-me-down clothes, and gave your kids a blankets and gave them some toys for Christmas. And then you became overly churchy until that man called you again. Now you back on heroin. I seen your type. I seen backsliders all day long. They ain't got no consistency. Either they super hot or they super cold. Either they in church praising and always crying because they crying out to God to fix their life, or they out sucking dick. That's what these fair weather saints are. They have no middle ground. They have no temperance. They don't know how to do anything. Every single time that they testify, people cringe because they don't know what you're gonna say. Oh my God, I used to be a prostitute and I was selling box. I was selling my pussy. That's how they are. And so that's why I don't be paying no attention to these people that come in here and try to preach. Boy, you can't preach to me. You can't preach to me in a text on a chat with no profile picture. Nigga, you don't get on out of here and take your Bible somewhere, slap you in your face. I'm gonna just keep it real, man. I got smoke for everybody. I'm an equal accountability smoke giver. I don't discriminate against nobody. So if you ever feel offended by anything that I ever said, just know you're not alone. If you ever feel offended by anything that I ever said, you're not alone. I got smoke for everybody. I got smoke for everybody. Nobody is going to miss the smoke that I have. All right. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I want to address this one thing that I seen as a challenge. Because y'all going to get yourself hurt. Y'all really going to get yourself hurt. Check this out, y'all.
The threat outside this Tampa area home looks very real. A masked figure approaching the door, kicking it hard, then firing a weapon, which deputies say is an airsoft gun, before fleeing late last Friday night. The county sheriff's office says this incident, which has left the community shaken, is part of a growing prank trending on TikTok called the Door Kick Challenge.
This is Florida. We're allowed to carry, we're allowed to protect ourselves, our homes, our property, our children, our pets.
Neighbors like the one here warning the practical jokes could end in tragedy.
It's going to be life or death. It really can be. And your mom's not going to want to have to cry your eulogy about it. So think next time.
She telling the truth. Let me rewind it.
Could end in tragedy.
It's going to be life or death. It really can be. And your mom's not going to want to have to cry your eulogy about it. So.
And she not telling no lies. She is 100% correct. Y'all out here and you want to play games. You're going to play with the wrong house. You're going to bring your airsoft gun. First of all, you shooting up somebody's property, even if it's not a real gun. You shooting up somebody's property. You got a poo shiesty mask on, or you got the hoodie on with the poo shiesty mask. I don't know why y'all think people playing around with y'all. Have y'all ever seen them old pranks where they be like, I'm pranking in the hood and I'm going off on people, or I'm going to say something crazy or whatever, or I'm going to leave this money right here, or it's one that everybody is doing. You know, everybody got this Me Too culture, right? So they got this one where if you going up the escalator and they going down the escalator, they touch your girl's hand. They touch your girl's hand, and then, you know what I'm saying, the guy turn around and look like this, and then he goes. Some of it be planned, and then other parts of it, it's like, or they got another one where they go up, they got the alternative version where you going up the Escalade and you chilling with your boys, and then the gay guy on the other side, he touch your head like this as he's going up the escalator. Everybody is not cool. You know what I'm saying? I personally teach people to control their emotions and don't make a life decision based off of a temporary situation and try to control yourself. Everybody not, you know what I'm saying? Everybody not, they not there yet. God's still working on them. You're going to get the wrong one. And when y'all go up to these doors, because this is called the Door Kick Challenge. When y'all go up to these doors and you got an airsoft gun and they can see you on the Ring camera, do you know that they can shoot you through the door? Because you're walking up with a gun. They don't know that that's a paintball gun. They see a covered man in a mask. They see a bunch of people on the street who look like thugs, and they see you with a gun in the hand. Boy, they can. We did a live stream on a guy that shot through the door and hit everybody. Y'all gotta chill, bro. I'm telling you. I know y'all think it's cute until you be paid, until you on a t-shirt. They should call this the t-shirt contest. They should literally call this the t-shirt contest, because everybody is not gonna play with you. Everybody not gonna give you grace. Everybody not gonna see it through. They not gonna give you an opportunity to make it right. You was just playing. They not doing that. Nobody is messing around no more. See, back in the day, it used to be a lot cooler because, you know, it was just, you know, you ain't have all of this. People wasn't afraid of getting their houses broken into. So we would play like the doorbell challenge, where you will ring the doorbell and you will run, ding dong, and then you run and your neighbors, Anton, I see you. They know who you are in the neighborhood. They know who you are on the block. Ring the doorbell challenge, ding dong, and then you run down the street and you try to hide behind a tree or something like that. And the fat kid was always the one that got caught because his stomach stuck out behind a tree, and he would try to get between the skinny tree, and the skinny tree wasn't wide enough in order to hold him. And so his stomach, first he was breathing hard, and his stomach always stuck out past the tree. And so the neighbor knew who he was. That was when everything was simple. Life was cool. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have people following each other home in order to try to rob somebody. Ding dong ditch. That's what it was called. Ding dong ditch. That's what it was called. Now, y'all walking up with airsoft guns. The dude, if you look at this previous video, forget the airsoft gun one. Let's go to the more reasonable one, right? Look at how these people is coming up. They got on hoodies. They got on masks. They kicking the door. Look at how this guy kicked the door.
Like the one here, warning the practical jokes could end in tragedy.
It's going to be life or death.
Watch this next
It really can be. And your mom's not going to want to have to cry your eulogy about it. So think next time.
They not ringing the doorbell. They not knocking and running. They kicking the door behind. He hitting it. Boom, 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 boom. You kicking the door. You kicking the door like you about to run in. Kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. All you heard was, Papa, don't hit me no more. That's what you doing. Mess around, get made of milk box material. You feel me? They kicking doors. They like practically kicking in the door. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody not playing games, bro. Everybody is not playing games. Some people see you on the Ring camera and they automatically go and get the. Everybody not playing games, bro. Y'all gotta, I'm telling you, you gotta slow down. You gotta slow down. Some people change their life over, and that's just a natural reaction. It's a natural reaction.
Reported incidents of the challenge popping up not just in Florida, but in Minnesota and California too. It's sort of like ding dong ditch.
Did you see how he kicked the door? Did you see how he kicked the door?
California too.
Did you see how he kicked the door? He did a running kick. Y'all gonna get y'all feelings hurt, bro. Keep tearing up people's properties. Doors is expensive. Doors are expensive. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. It's like y'all don't got no control.
It's sort of like ding dong ditch, but much more aggressive, daring teens to go up to a random door, kick it hard, and then flee. But those kicks can be extremely loud.
I was just asleep and I just woke up startled and scared and just wanted to make sure I get my kid out the way.
And they can cause damage, like in this other Florida incident in Volusia County, where you can see the door hanging open after the teens run away. Deputies making an arrest just hours later.
It is crystal clear camera. Those shorts are very distinctive.
Catching the moment on body cam and prompting the county sheriff to issue a blunt warning.
That's a good way to end up dead, especially in Florida. You got to think you're about to become a victim of a home invasion robbery, and you're under a
Kicking people's doors in. That's what y'all doing now?
castle doctor. You're going to shoot first and ask questions later.
Other law enforcement begging kids to sit this trend out too. From Arizona.
We want to encourage parents to speak with their teens about the dangers and potential criminal charges associated with participating in this challenge.
To these particularly young-looking pranksters in Pennsylvania.
These can have tragic results, and we've seen it across the country.
In Fort Worth, Texas, over 21 incidents were reported in recent months.
This type of horseplay could get someone injured, and that's not what we're looking for.
Those high stakes tragically hitting home for one family in Virginia when they lost their son earlier this summer. Authorities say 18-year-old Michael Bosworth Jr. died after he was shot recording a more traditional ding-dong ditch prank for a TikTok video. That incident not appearing to involve any door kicking, but showing just how quickly a prank can escalate into something much more serious.
Yeah, this is.
He messed around and found out. He was supposed to be out there playing lacrosse, and he walked up to somebody's house, and he messed around and found out. Y'all better get y'all kids if you love them. Here, this is what my grandmother used to say. She said, if you love them, whoop them. They not going to die. If you love them, don't spare the rod and spoil the child. You better get your kids. But that was the whole idea behind discipline, behind whoopings, behind getting it in at home. I'm going to get you so that the police don't pick you up from the coroner's office. I'm going to get you so that we ain't got to call the ambulance. I'm going to help you to understand that if you go out there and do something, you're going to be waiting for something bigger at home, because I want you to make better decisions. If you go outside and you say, you know what? If I do this and my parents find out, they gonna kill me. It's gonna have you thinking differently about why you out there doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're not gonna want to get caught up. And it actually teaches you life lessons. It was so much stuff that I could have got into in high school that I avoided. So much. It was this chick. I remember. It was this chick, and I'm not gonna say her name because she could be different. I don't know what her life turned out to be. And it was this chick that everybody that had a reputation in high school, and this was like 9th and 10th grade. It was this girl, and she had a reputation for giving head and being a busto. Right now, in high school, I went to a better school. I went to a school that you had to test to get into. I went to Cass Technical High School, right? And it's the ice cream truck. I went to a more traditional, it was a public school, but it was a school of choice, and not a school of choice. It was a school that you had to test to get into. You had to maintain a certain grade point average in order to get there. And she had a reputation for giving head or whatever and being a busto. So basically everybody hit. And bunch of guys had skipped school. And they was like, yo, you coming? Yo, you coming through or whatever? It was a bunch of guys that was skipping school. And I was like, what y'all going to do? What's up? What we hitting? We about to go hit Greektown? Because a lot of times we would just go and explore downtown. Like it wasn't right to skip school, but we did innocent stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dog, I heard that such and such was, such and such. She about to busting it down and all of that. Everybody about to run bustos on her. What? Now I'm 14 years old. 14, 15 years old. What y'all about to do? So with such and such, she going over such and such house. She said she gonna let her run bustos. One girl. And all y'all going, and this is the honest to God truth on everything. One girl and all of y'all going. Yeah, man, we about to go over there and get. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sit this one out. I'm gonna go to class. I'm gonna go to class. I'm straight. Like I had a strong father in my life. I didn't have to prove myself to anything. I didn't have to prove myself to anybody and anything. I was strong enough as an individual. I was like, you know what? And that day, outside of rolling with my brothers, outside of rocking with the dudes that I've been cool with all of this time, that day I said that I'm a solo artist. I went solo. I didn't need no friends. I didn't want to hang with nobody. The worst that I ever did, the worst that we ever got into was me and my homeboy. And we would, like he had it was this girl that liked him. And I knew this other girl. And so she, we was talking about skipping school together. And my homeboy is the one that had the car because I didn't have a car. He had a car. His parents had bought him a car. And she was like, my homegirl like your boy. He like your homie. You like your best friend. And I was like, word? And she was like, yeah, we should all skip school together. So, me and her and him and her homegirl. And so we went to his father's house when he was at work. And so we would skip school as like a 2+2. You know what I'm saying? Like he was hanging out with her and I was hanging out with her. And so we all just skipped school together and we hung out at the father's house. And so we skipped, you know what I'm saying, 2nd and 3rd, 4th, 5th hour. And we came back 7th and 8th hour and we was back at school. That's the worst that we've ever done. That's the worst thing that we'd have never got into. oh, we gonna skip school and hang out with this girl. Hey man, you know, my homegirl said she want to holler at you. Who? Which one? Her right there. Okay, cool. And that was it. That's the worst thing ever. Man, I'm not going over nowhere and getting involved with. Wait a minute, is her? Her. And all of y'all, they all got caught up too. They all got caught up. All of them dudes, all of them got caught up. All of them got caught up. Every single time. Every single time. The girl wound up having to leave the school. I don't know what happened to her. Most of those dudes got kicked out. And it just went left from there. All of them dudes got caught up. I always knew, no, I'm straight. No, I'm good. It's just certain things that just didn't make sense to me. Certain things didn't make sense. If I wanted to get involved with something, I just get involved with it. I ain't trying to be around that. And so that early experience, as I became adult, I wasn't going to start being a follower all of a sudden when I got grown. I was going to be more of what I already was. I seen dudes doing stuff they wasn't supposed to. You good, big dog. You straight. You good. I knew that at least if I hung out with my older brothers who were 6 and 7 years older than me, that not only would they keep me out of trouble, so when they went and did stuff that they wasn't supposed to do, that they would send me home, they would drop me off at the crib and then go and do whatever it is that they was going to do together. And I can always wear their clothes, you know what I'm saying? Because they had dope clothes. They had some of the freshest clothes ever. But other than that, I ain't getting involved in none of that nonsense. I ain't getting involved in that nonsense. So again, I hope that the girl turned out however she turned out. I went to class, bro. I had calculus. Yeah, trains are gay in my opinion. I didn't want to say that out loud, but yo, bro, if you running a train, bro, even if you the second in line, even if you're second, you're last, in my opinion. Second place is the first loser. That was always what I believed. Second place was the first loser. Second place was the first loser. Even if you're second, especially if you last, but even if you second place is the first loser. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I've always like, you do Dirty Dick Rodney? You about to go after Dirty Dick Rodney, nigga? You good. I'm straight. Nope. Always been my own man. Always been on a solo mission. Even if I found out that she was messing with you, like let's say for example, you link up with a chick and you find out that that Dirty Dick Rodney hit. It's just like you don't even look at her as human no more. You just look at her as like a thing. It's like you lose respect for her, right? Have y'all ever do that? Like, have y'all ever found out or realized that a loser hit a chick and she hanging around you? You lose complete respect for her, right? Like it's almost like you don't even talk to her the same. Whereas you used to talk to her like, "What's going on, baby girl? How you doing?" And then you find out a loser hit it, then you be like, "Man, who is this hoe over here, man? Hey, y'all, is the hoes here? Like the whole, the whole, because you know she ain't got no self-respect for herself, so you can't expect me to treat you any better than the last person that you slept with. I can't treat you any better than and it's not even something that we intentionally do, ladies. I'm giving y'all the game. I know that y'all think that y'all standards go up higher depending on how many dudes that y'all done slept with and how many kids that y'all done had. But when we find out, like if we see your baby daddy and he come in with a wife beater and he's got dirt on the side and it's got ketchup at the bottom, it's like, yo, fam, where'd you take her? Took her to the steakhouse. And I ain't never taken this hoe out. Like your whole, like, yeah. You don't even try to spit game no more. It's like, so what's up? You sucking or what? Like your whole demeanor change. Because it's like, oh, I'm gonna treat you the way that you were supposed to be treated. When did you get standards? We don't look at you from a standard perspective and be like, oh man, she's still a good girl. When I found out that Dirty Dick Rodney hit, I'm like, yeah. So what time you leaving? Ladies, for the sake of conversation, let me just give y'all some game. We treat you guys according to the latest person, the last few people that you slept with. When we find out, not if, because we always find out one way or another, we're going to find out. When we find out who you are, because we are going to find out. You're not going to change overnight. You can't hide all of the red flags. When we find out who you are, we are going to treat you accordingly. If you see that guys, if you one of them women that always jump on TikTok and Instagram and you always talk about how guys ain't respectful, that is the first red flag to me. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they don't respect you because you're not respectable. We treat the top tier people like royalty. Like royalty. When people come up to my chick, Miss Dang, oh my God, protect her. When they come up to you, hey man, what you gonna take her home tonight or what? It's a difference. It's a difference. Yes, this is a chopstick. We got chopsticks in here. Okay, chopsticks. It's a difference. They're going to treat you according to your work history. They're going to treat you according to your work history. So don't get mad. Don't get mad. It just is what it is. Yeah, some dudes is gonna see it through. It don't mean it's always gonna be a sucker. We got more suckers than ever before. So y'all might be safe. I ain't even gonna cap. Y'all might be safe because we got more suckers than ever before. Y'all might be safe because guys today, you know, when I heard somebody say, it was a saying that people say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I'm sorry. Say that one more time. Man, one man's trash is another man's treasure. He lost out on her, and I saved her. Talking about Keisha? Yeah, man, that's a good girl. Keisha. Keisha with the big lips? With the mole in her ear? Talking about Keisha 2 times? Keisha 2 times. Because every dude I know hit it at least twice. Keisha 2 times? You good. Yeah, you got it. I don't even try to stop her motion. Yeah, you right. You right. You got it. No, facts. Right there. I'm telling you the truth. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. That's the way that it go. That's the game. I didn't make up the rules. We just play the game according to how the game is played. And trust me, the game is the game yesterday, the day before, and it's going to be the same game as tomorrow. It's not changed. Just because we added a couple mobile phones and some social media, it's not no different. The game is the game. Keisha with the mole in her ear, Keisha 2 times. She's still doing what she's doing. All right, let's continue on. Norman, I don't like distractions. All right. Let's see something real quick. Again, thank you to everybody that showed me love on Cash App. I appreciate y'all. Jason Pearson says we know more about the moon surface than the ocean. It's a fact. Courtney Egger Show says, man, I love this life. We're gonna run up this YouTube bag with the people in my inner circle, bag chasers all day. I appreciate you, fam. Courtney, got the live stream this weekend, content creation live stream on Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Carrington Love Jr. says, and I was laying in bed this morning with my girl, and all I could think about was your LA protesters starter pack segment. Jason Pearson says, first time sending a super chat. Thank you, Jason. Says, trying to get my pictures. My bad, brother, new to this, but I'm a bag chaser. Shout out to the chasers. Yeah, we got to get the profile pictures up. Nichelle says, imagine what Trayvon Martin's parents feel seeing this trend in Florida. Shameful. Facts. That's facts. Just Christian Black says, I guess Ding Dong Ditch is the PC name for it. We had another name for it when I was younger. What was y'all naming it? Carrington Love Jr. says, I agree, Anton. Busting down trains on girls is for dusty dudes. Yeah, I'm good. I'm straight. Tanny says, now called the F around and find out challenge. Watch. Somebody gonna find out. It's gonna be more and more people. You keep kicking in people's doors, it's gonna be over. Bama Golf Coast says they went left, time dog went right. Facts. That's a fact. Todd Traveler says, AD, I know plenty of people who are in prison caught up something running trains. The eyes of the law is considered gang rape. Dummies. Mr. Lott says, when she hit you with my ex never took me here, we always ate out. You so different. She ain't used to nothing. Y'all keep trying to get these chicks that's used to wearing Reeboks. She got on the new Angel Reese's. You know? What is those? These them new Angel Reese's. Y'all used to chicks that's wearing Reeboks and you trying to teach her a caviar lifestyle. She don't know how to hold chopsticks. She asked me if did I get this off the tree branch? Did you get that off the tree branch? No. Give her some chopsticks. She don't want to learn nothing. She don't want to learn. She don't want to learn nothing. You keep on trying to teach her. Yeah, baby. No. That's a salad fork. You know, they bring out a set of knives. What is this for? You have to pick the knife that you're going to cut your steak with. You got to put ketchup on everything. Every time you take her out, she always ordering chicken strips and fries. She don't know shit. You got you a little bum. Got you a bum bitch. She a baddie though. No, she not. Got them baby hairs, nigga. Got them baby hairs and fake baby hairs. She always arguing, putting ketchup. Can I get some ketchup? What you need ketchup for? I don't even know. They don't take. I like ketchup on everything. You got it. You got it. You got it. You're right. I like ketchup on everything. You're right. I agree. Do that come with fries? Y'all got some chicken strips? They don't see it on the menu. As soon as she turn around, let's go. Bust down. So what was you saying? She trying to match your energy. She thinks she can code switch. Yeah, so you know, and I was trying to tell those girls. Oh yeah, which girls was those? The ones in the call center. She not used to nothing, bro. You keep trying to send her a black truck. Go up to her door. She in a projects. Bringing her flowers. Every single meal that y'all order, she always like this. Can't enjoy your food because she always doing a boomerang with it. You don't take that little hold to the mosey wosey and get done with that and send her back on her way. Mosey wosey. Mosey Wozy. She's a Mosey Wozy. She's nothing more than that. Keep on trying to elevate these people that's not elevated, trying to teach her something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this must be French. No, it's not. Hey, what restaurant you want to go to? Do they got American fit? You know, like you just, the only thing she know is what she know. She not used to nothing. And you keep trying to take her out of the hood and give her a different lifestyle. Man, shut up, man. If you don't, that's what she is. That's who she is. Everybody hit it. Neighbors waiting on her to get home so they can knock on the door, get some leftovers, and bust her down. Keep trying to be respectful. You don't let her go. We call it N-word knocking. Yeah, I've heard of that too. They call me Mr. Bibb, says, good afternoon. A friend of mine told me this 4 years ago, ego and pride will lead to your demise. It changed my life completely. Haven't been in jail in almost 4 years. Good show last night. It was a good show last night. It was a good show last night. All right. I know I'm right, D. Walker. We all done been around some hood rats. We know what they like. We all done seen them. We all seen them. All right, so let's go ahead and get into something different. What story do we want to tackle yet? Oh, let's go over to this first. I want to tackle this story right now.
Job loss is being felt nationwide, especially among Black women in the labor force. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in February, more than 10.5 million Black women were employed. But by June, that number dropped below 10.3 million. That's a loss of more than 300,000 employees in just months. Some of that job loss can be attributed to cuts in the federal workforce and the dismantling of DEI programs in the public and private sectors. Gender economist Katika Roy joins us now. She recently wrote an article for MSNBC that examined Black women leaving the labor force, and she joins us now with more on what she found. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
300,000 Black women leaving the workforce in 3 months sounds like an alarming number. How and why did this happen? And why do you say it's not a coincidence?
Well, the job cuts, yeah, it's a good question. So if we take a step back, this is an economic alarm bell. You know,
Wait. First of all, what the hell is a gender economist? I have honestly, and maybe I'm new, maybe I'm not familiar with it. What is a gender economist? I've never heard of a gender economist before. Have y'all ever heard of a gender economist? Is that a new program that we not familiar with, that I'm not familiar with? Has anybody heard of a gender economist? Anybody inside of the chat? I didn't even know that they had gender economists. What the heck is a gender economist? You an economist and you never heard of that either? I've never heard of a gender economist before. This is the first time. Just point that out. Let's continue.
The primary piece that we are seeing is the federal job cuts and the agencies that were actually targeted for those cuts, which such as education and healthcare, which are predominantly employed Black women. So, for instance, if you look at women's labor force participation and the percentage of Black women in the labor force, they make up about 6% of the labor force, but 12% of federal jobs.
Wow. And we've certainly seen that loss, and we felt that loss locally for sure with the federal.
You know what's so funny about this whole conversation is I said, because I'm not even going to deep dive into the Black woman thing or, you know, certain aspects of it. I'm going to wait until I learn more about what they're saying, right? I have said that for a long time, it's a reason why they have to promote certain fields to women, right? Meaning that, for example, it's common for you to hear women in STEM or Black women in STEM or whatever like that. girls who do STEM work or whatever. And I've done whole live streams about it. And the reason that they have to promote that is because women don't normally go into fields that men traditionally dominate and control. And it's not because of misogyny. It's not because men are trying to prevent women from being there. It's not because you can't take those same classes in college. It's because women tend to go into fields that usually are more administrative and nurturing, and men tend to go into fields that are more technical and a lot more hands-on. So our natural inclination is to go left or right, depending on what your gender is. And when we said that, people disputed it and tried to make it seem like, oh, no, it's because men are misogynistic, or it's because men tend to do this or men tend to do that, or whatever, so on and so forth, when it's not true. If you just let people naturally pick what it is that they pick instead of promoting to them, then that's not to say that you can't, or that women are not interested in technology. Even when women go into the technology field, they don't go to be software engineers mostly. They just don't. They don't go to cloud infrastructure. They're not trying to become AI machine learning. You know what women tend to go into being when they go into the technology field? Product owners, project managers. They don't even become scrum masters. They're not good at it. I've seen so many women lose their job at being scrum masters. Women are project managers and they're product owners. They can tell you what, because that's more administrative, to be honest with you. They have a technical understanding of what's going on. They understand the roles and responsibilities, but that is more administrative. That is not tech heavy. They don't have to speak the language. They can't tell you what a syntax error is. They don't know exactly where you put the bracket. They can't tell you how to, and that's, again, it's not to say that there are not women that are in those fields, but what I am telling you, look, Black Beauty says, I'm a scrum master, but I'm not even working in that capacity right now. I'm doing AI project management. If you let people, and if we stop trying to pre-program or force things on people, then you will naturally find that they navigate into the thing that they're more inclined to do based off of the fact that God made them a woman and the fact that men made men, or God made men. And you said they are great interior designers. Facts. That's why women will say, well, if you build the home, I'll make it a home. That's why they say that dumb stuff. If you build it, I'll make it. And when guys tend to be gay and go into women's fields, what do they become? Interior designers, makeup artists, and dancers. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Or assistance with picking your clothes. Every single time they overdo the thing that women do. When guys tend to be sassy and they try to get into women's fields, they always want to pick out some clothing and some designs. They want to pick out some patterns. They always want straight lines, don't go with polka dots. Let them women have their jobs. Let the women do what the women do. Why you got to go and take their jobs? And why you don't see women trying to be linemen, trying to be up there with 10,000 bolts running through that thing, doing it live? Because their hands ain't steady. They scary. They scared of everything. They not even strong enough. They not strong enough. I don't feel comfortable with a woman on my 30 watching my back. When we was in the steel mill and we had to go into them pits, and you had to have a +1 just in case you fell out down in that mug or you had an accident, I didn't feel comfortable with no woman on my 10 4. What do you mean? She gonna watch me? Nigga, she can't carry me out of here. She can't help me. Why would I have her watching my back? But guess what? They all was in there with their hair done, had their hair, it was wrapped up in a bun so that when they can get off of the steel mill, they're going to go straight to the after hour spot. Straight to the after hour spot. So now when you see all of these women, well, I'm gonna hold off on that part. Let's continue.
Reduction. What kind of impact? So we talked a little bit about the economic effect. What kind of impact is the loss of Black women in the workforce having locally, nationally? I mean, what does it mean for the future when it comes to things like student loans, home ownership, and building generational wealth?
And that's a great point. So one of the things that we know is for every percentage point of women leaving the labor force, it actually hits GDP at about $164 billion. So in other words, the connection is 1% equals about 146 billion GDP loss. But then we have things such as housing, the spillover effects that you were talking about, housing, healthcare, education, et cetera. And we've seen that even with inflation, right? So Black women on average earn 64 cents on the dollar, but the inflation rate as of last week is 3 times that for women's goods and services.
Let me ask you.
So what's really happening is that this is the real great reset. When everybody was sitting there predicting that we were going to have, there was going to be a recession. What they were really saying to you is that women were going to have a recession, not men. When everybody was telling you that it was going to be a recession, what they were really telling you is that there's going to be flower bringing and slow singing at these administrative jobs, and the people that are going to be affected the most are women. The same thing that happened during the pandemic, the same thing that happened when it comes to the federal government jobs layoff. Now everybody want to be a stay-at-home mother. And you can see it when it comes to the influx of information that comes across social media. Look at what's trending. Now, first of all, it was women empowerment, feminism. Now the new thing is, why are y'all shaming women that want to be stay-at-home mothers? Well, no guy ever shamed women that wanted to be stay-at-home mothers in the first place. This was you guys. You said that you can do bad, you can do good by yourself. You said that you wasn't willing to go 50-50. You said that you brought the whole table and that you were the table. We said you were shaped like the table. You said that you were the table. And we agreed with you. Shaped just like a table, round or square, flat butt, flat back. Now it's, oh my God, I want to stay home. I don't want to sit here. I want to raise my kids. Well, that's because women are the ones that's getting, I said it. Man, listen, I've been telling y'all all this time. You know what industries are suffering? Student loan providers. You know why? Because less women are enrolling for positions that they're going to wind up staying home for anyway. Ain't nothing like a woman to go get educated so she can stay at home and raise her children. You just wasting time. You wasting time. You're wasting time. You're wasting energy. We know that you're not going to do anything. You just want to feel like you're doing something. So now that y'all want to know what we really do. You want to know what we really think about y'all? I'm going to break it down. Forget all of this. Let me tell you what we think about y'all. Let me tell you what guys that make a lot of money or guys that are super productive on their way to making a lot of money think about you and your career, right? We know that it is a waste of our time and money, but we accommodate you because we know that you want to feel connected to us. You want to feel like you have a sense of purpose. We know that the value that you bring is to shut the hell up, make sure that you're a good mother and for the children, and that you play in a very good supportive role and to be the best woman that you can be. We know this. We entertain you. We give you funding to open up your losing business. We know that your business is going to lose money. We know that you're just busy. You're just running around and doing things. We already know that you don't know nothing about business. Even if you make money, it's going to kick your ass. We know that you're going to suffer, but you want to be funded. You want to do your own business. You want to be a boss chick. You want to show off to your girls on all Instagram is for women is the same thing that the hair salon and the gossip spaces when women used to get together and talk about husbands, talk about men, and talk about what they got going on. So now what we know for sure is that the new gossip spaces is the spaces that you guys go on Instagram because you want to see you a baddie. You want to do the Nicki Minaj challenge where you got your red bottoms on and you want to fake like you're doing a challenge, but you really wanted to show off that new pair of shoes that you got. You want to go and get educated. I feel like I need to go to school or whatever. Also, you can shut up and then we got to pay off your student loans. Also, we can have to pay off your student loans. You went to school for nothing, to get laid off so that you can try to find you a man to help you with whatever it is that you got going on. That's the truth. We know that you're not doing nothing. You're not really a boss chick, all of this stuff. And so we tolerate the BS. We tolerate your insubordination. We make sure that we help you with your dreams. Also, you can come on back home and shut the fuck up. That's it. That's it. That is it. At the end of the day, you're going to do what God told you to do. At the end of the day, you're going to do what God told you to do. That's why I don't put no pressure on my daughter. I just go ahead and just keep on working, making sure she gonna go to college. She gonna go to college and she gonna pick a career. You know what she gonna wind up doing? She gonna take the position that dad set up for her when she get done acting like she busy. That's it. Okay. All right. So come on, work for the company business. When you get done playing games, that's why I tell her, don't worry about this. Don't do that. Enjoy your childhood. Make yourself look busy. When you get done, come on home and make sure that you come and do this thing that daddy told you to do. That's it. That's why we work. That's why fathers work so hard. We don't get nothing out of it unless we get super rich. We work hard so that our daughters and our sons is going to be okay when they get older. That's it. That's it. Anton, are you degrading women? Nope. I'm actually helping women. Because the question that you should be asking yourself is, why do you want to do all of this stuff only to, you know what I'm saying? Why you want to waste your time in the first place? That's it. I'm working hard, building these homes, giving her to learn lessons, teaching her discipline, loyalty, all of those things. And then eventually she'll take the helm of all of the companies that I built. And then hopefully she manages it effectively. That's it. Yeah, girl. I'm gonna go to her taekwondo contest. She want to go to the Olympics. One day, if let's say she make it to the Olympics. And then what? Come on home and run these businesses. Cool. What you want to do in school? Awesome. Great. Get you an education. Come on home and take this stuff that I didn't put up for you. And this is how you manage it effectively. This is how much the principal is. Hopefully I pass you down. Let's say hypothetically you give her, a $10 million portfolio, right? That spins off the effective rate of 8 to 12% a year. I know that if you never touch the principal, that you should be solidly making at least anywhere from $800,000 to $1.2 million for the rest of your life. And so I'm going to teach you how to take half of that, reinvest it so you increase the principal, and you should be able to effectively live off of $400,000 to $600,000 a year. And you already got assets, so it's nothing that you can do. I just want to make sure that you're good. That's it. We are the covering for you. That's it. All of this other stuff, you're just wasting time. See, look at Carrie. This is how my husband is when I share my ideas with him. Oh, honey, that's so good. Oh, man, you did a good job. What do you want us to do with it? Here's what you should. Same thing with Rita. She be having all of these little ideas. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's good. Go ahead and try it. Let her go out there. Then next thing you know, she was like, no, I just want to work for you. How about I just manage what you already didn't put together? Oh, wow, that's a great idea, honey. We make it seem like it's their idea. You know what? You so smart. You are the smartest person in the world. Rita came in the other day. Look, honey, she gonna get this to me yesterday. Look at what they gave me on the plane. They gave me a special note to say that I'm platinum medallion and thank you for being a platinum medallion member. She ain't paid for nan flight. Ain't paid for nothing. Ain't never paid for a flight to save. Can't pay for a flight to save her life. I'm not even sure that she know what a flight costs. I'm double platinum medallion. This is mine's. It just got her name on it. This is mine's. I am double platinum medallion, but she gonna sit there and try to stunt for me. Huh? See? Are you platinum medallion yet? Yes, I'm platinum medallion. I was platinum before you. You know you didn't earn this, right? It's my points. Yes, I did. I'm the one that took the flights. You're right. You got it. You got it. You did all the work to get to platinum medallion. And I'm gonna be diamond by the next couple months. Yep. You gonna be diamond. They be wasting time, bro. They honestly just waste time. That's all they do. Women are like, women are just like, they're like little kids. You know what I'm saying? You watch them play, you guide them to keep them from not burning themselves or jumping into a ditch over there. You know what I'm saying? You know how kids be like, oh, daddy, look what it is that I found. Man, I mean, you be like, oh, man, you so smart. Now, all you be thinking to yourself is, yeah, I got to make sure that I work and take care of this. I got to cover for that. What's her new idea? Okay. Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's great, honey. You good. You're so smart. Yeah, that's all they are. Wives are just side missions. That's all they are. Women are side missions. They're the ultimate side missions. If we had did this show and we said, because we never do this, right? Notice how we never have any conversation about black men, 300,000 men losing their jobs, 300,000 black men. How is it going to affect the community? We don't have those conversations. Black women, the ancillary costs, the macroeconomics, the GDP. We don't give up. We don't care. We really don't care. Nobody cares. It's just something to do and something to talk about. We would be panicking if 300,000 men lost their jobs. It's a recession. 300,000 women decided to leave the workforce, laid off, and never went and looked for another job. Interesting. Very interesting. Read some of these super chats. Carrie know it's true. Let me talk about Carrie for a minute. Carrie know it's true. You know what Carrie's concerns is? Let me tell you what Carrie's concerns is. Carrie, let me tell you what Carrie puts in a group chat. I'm about to tell on her for a minute. I'll go to check on the group chat. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I'll go to check on the group chat. This is what Carrie put in the group chat. Cut onions and peppers and onions in 8 minutes flat, y'all. And look at all of the women liking it. Look at the women in the group chat liking it. Look at Carrie. Look at what Carrie posted. Look at Mika's response. This is Mika's response. This is why I don't check the group chat, y'all. Y'all keep asking me, Anton, why you don't be active in the group chat? Carrie is in there posting recipes. She posting her onions. Carrie chopping onions and then grabbing her phone and take a picture of it. Mika's over there responding with the GIF emoji of the onions getting chopped. Honest to God, I went and peeked in the group chat. I just threw my phone back down. There's nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to see here, guys. Anton, I'm going to be late tonight. I just look at it. I don't respond. I got to chop some greens before I jump on the live stream. I got to chop some green peppers. I just be looking at it. I just be looking at it. What y'all want me to say? What you want me to respond to? How you want me to address this? Look at her. How do you want me to address this? Look, guys, 8 minutes flat. Oh, women are just literally side missions. That's all they are. Lou Poppy says, I laugh every time. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to take care of this. Contractors, house bills and stuff. They over there chopping onions and putting that shit in the group chat. I laugh every time an Altima speeds past me in traffic, but a bumper missing. And the driver, as always, as you described. And AD hasn't missed yet because I lived this life. I've been on this earth for a while, man. Wesley Turner says, black men's earnings increased in Q2 while black women's decreased. Elsa Turner says, you ain't lying. I didn't waste of time and money in school. And now that my daughter is 2 and I'm pregnant again, I'm about to start homeschool. Did all that for nothing. Just be wasting time. And then they be giving each other advice, talking about, girl, don't get married early. Why? So you can waste time for the thing that you was going to be doing in the first place? You're just going to run up some debt, huh? We don't need women to work. Just be wasting time. Doing a bunch of nothing. Doing nothing. Trying to seem important. Hey, guys, what's going on out here? I'm just waiting. Thursday coming. Carrie gonna text me. So, Anton, I'm gonna be a little late. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna put my phone down. Gotta run some extra bath water. I don't be mad at her though. I don't even be tripping. I just be like, all right. I just like it. I just hit her with the heart emoji. Honest to God, I just hit her with the heart emoji. Okay, Carrie. Gotta run some bath water tonight. Gotta run a couple more errands. Not sure when the bath water is gonna cool down, to Anton. Got a recital to go to. Okay, Carrie. I just hit her with the yup. She'll hit me with the face emoji. This is me, Carrie. This is me and Carrie's text messages. I'd be like, yep. She start laughing. I hit her with the thumbs up and just keep moving. I don't even be paying no attention no more. Yep. You got it. What we talking about next? What we talking about next? One word answers for the ladies from now on. One word answers. Hold on 1 second. Let me see something. California gas prices. Let's tackle that real quick. I wanted to kind of talk about a little bit of money right here. So let me pivot for that. These women don't be having nothing to talk about. They just be talking.
Prices in LA County are holding near $4.50 a gallon. That, of course, is well above the $3.14 a gallon national average. And while prices have dipped slightly, experts warn they could spike again as 2 major California refineries prepare to shut down. And you may have seen recent headlines suggesting experts forecasting $8 a gallon Right now, I'm joined by Andy Walls. He is Chevron's president for downstream, midstream, and chemical. That means he essentially is in charge of everything that happens to oil after it's been pulled out of the ground. Good to see you, Andy. Thanks so much for being with me tonight.
Yeah, Marla, thanks again. It's good to see you and looking forward to the conversation.
Okay, well, let's start the conversation by showing you some video that we found today. So we sent our helicopter, Skyfox, as we call it, around town just to get some images of pricing. And we come across this gas station. It's a Chevron, not even trying to play gotcha here. This happens to be in Chinatown in the heart of LA. And it's $7.89.
Wait. $7.89 a gallon. Y'all know, do y'all know? Fun fact here, guys. I'm gonna teach y'all something. Do y'all know where the majority of the costs at the pump come from? Most gas stations don't make money from gas. Very, very small profit. How do I know this? Because I have friends that own gas stations. Let me see something. I could be slightly off on that. Let me call my dog. On a friend.
Huh?
Omar.
This
It's Anton.
Yeah.
What up, big dog? How you feel?
Good, bro. How about you, man?
Chilling. Hey, I got a business question. I was talking to my homeboy.
Yes, sir.
How long you been in the gas station business, bro?
I'm knocking on 32 years.
32 years?
Yeah, same spot.
What's the biggest headache in being in the gas station business?
So, I don't want to say it too loud, but possibly my crew.
Yeah, I feel you. Oh, you there right now. You there right now.
Yeah, I'm at work right now.
When I drive by there, you don't always be there, so I don't be knowing.
Well, I put my couple of hours in, and then it's time for me to go.
Yeah. What about all right, so just from a business perspective, this is the last question. I just gotta, because I was asking my homeboy something.
Sure.
Do y'all make the majority of your money on the selling the gas, or is it the stuff that happens in the store?
Right now it's a mixed combination of both.
Okay.
You want to talk to me? Jeff, 25 years ago, or just 15 years ago? No, it wasn't like that. You only made money in your store, but it also depends. Anton, I'm gonna be real with it. Hold on. Is that a regular vitamin water? 49. Sorry, Anton. Depending on where you're at, bro, and your competition, it plays a lot of factors. You got, just a one man operation. He's probably going to be a little more aggressive on his pricing. Does he got liquor? Does he got beer? Is it just a store?
Yeah.
Food?
Yeah.
$2.69. Just a mix. Are you new construction? You're going to be millions behind the 8 ball compared to the guy down the street from you, which you don't got to be aggressive, because he probably doesn't have a payment to make like you would.
Yeah.
If it was a new development.
Would you ever open up a gas station in like California?
So California, out there, yeah, their margins are different. Their margins, what they make on their gas is a lot more out there than it is down here. They make a lot more money on their gas. But I'm sure it's a lot more to operate and own out there. California property is not Michigan property.
Right.
Why, you want to pop off one out there?
You going in with me?
Yeah, I would entertain it, depending on where you're at.
All right, bet.
Not that I know the market, but I know, out there, you do the right play. Yeah, you could do very well.
Yeah, we can talk about it. We can kick it.
Are you down here or are you out there now?
I'm out in Cali right now.
But you didn't move out of down here, did you?
No, I still got everything there.
Okay.
I'm just hanging out right now. I've been spending a lot of time in Cali.
I got you. Family good?
Yep, everything is great, bro. How's your family?
We're doing all right, Anton. Summertime right now, so there's busy. Weather's been nice out here.
Yeah. How's the sisters? How your sisters?
They're doing good. My sister's in town. My oldest one lives out in California. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, I didn't know that one. I didn't know that.
Yep, she's been out there for damn near 8 years in El Cajon in San Diego.
That's why I ain't been seeing her.
Yep. But my other one, she still helps me, does all my paperwork, all my back end stuff for me.
Yep.
Over here at the gas station. And we're blessed, man. Every day we wake up, we're healthy, man. Thank God. I'm good, Anton.
Bet. All right, so let me do some research. I'm gonna call you in about a day.
Call me whatever you need.
All right, bet.
All right, Anton.
It's always good to have friends in different industries. It's always good to know business owners because relationships. You don't even know. Like you could be kicking it with somebody just on some general stuff and haven't even talked to them in 3 to 6 months. And then next thing you know, y'all talking about the possibility of opening up a new business in a whole nother state. You know what I'm saying? So, but see, that's why I like to have friends and information, because when I find out certain things, I can make some phone calls and then I can learn more about that particular industry if I'm not familiar with it, which also feeds into what we talk about on the Patreon, because the familiarity and understanding the margins in certain businesses will help you make a better decision on where to put your investment dollars at. Let's get back into the live stream, y'all.
A gallon, basically $8 a gallon. We've seen those headlines of late. This is already there. What's going on here?
Well, Marla, first off, these are independent business people. I certainly don't like seeing one of our retailers uncompetitive. That's not reflecting on our brand very well. Most of the Chevrons you'll see in the area will be at exactly the price you mentioned earlier. And this doesn't represent our brand very well. So apologize to that.
Okay. With that said, what is Chevron doing to lower prices?
Well, Marla, look, I think we've got to go back and talk a little bit about what's gone on over the last, call it 10 or 15, 20 years. I think what's happened in California is that policymakers have put politics in front of good energy policy. And we find ourselves in a situation where we have less supply today than we have demand in the state of California. And this is what's putting a tremendous amount of pressure on the price. It's going to potentially put pressure on reliable supply, because the supply for the excess demand is going to have to come from somewhere overseas. And it's putting tremendous pressure, all the policy put tremendous pressure on refiners in the state. And that's your headline around a couple of refineries closing. Hey, that's real. That means less supply in the market. And I think it's a thing that Californians need to be focused on and concerned about.
So what he's basically saying, her first question, which was a dumb question, in my opinion, what he's basically saying is that lawmakers are determining the price, and they're also determining the business conditions in which a free market company should be able to operate inside of California. This is further proof that politicians are ruining California. This state is an awesome place to live in. You saying you're not buying this answer. Nichelle, let me tell you something. And this is what I know for sure, because I study the stocks, I study the industries, I study the boom and bust cycles. I even watch Landman. I love Landman. Landman is probably the only series that I watch. I get an opportunity to be able to watch TV. It's very entertaining and it's informational. The thing that I will tell you is this, is that when you go to the gas station, the majority of the price that you're paying is monies that go over to state lawmakers. They have to pay for the gas, the product itself. That's the base. And then all of the taxes that get put on top of it when you're talking about California legislation, them trying to push these EV mandates and stuff, it places business pressure on them. The cost ultimately get passed on to the consumer. So of course you're going to have some bad actors. I've been to places and I flew to cities where the gas station that is next to the airport, the gas station that is on the way to the airport, they price gouge. They price gouge. Why? Because they know that people have that only that one gas station to stop at in order to turn a rental car back into, and in order to not get charged the exorbitant amount that the rental car company would charge you in order to fill the car back up. And so when you stop at the gas station to fill the rental car up so that you can drop it off at the rental car agency, they're going to gouge the prices. But that is not the average. Most gas station owners are trying to get it at the lowest price, or trying to put it at the lowest price possible in order to lure you in so that you can buy products that's inside of the store that helps keep them afloat. In addition to that, when you look at the gas prices, it's not just buy it for $1, sell it for $2. You got taxes, you got this, you got that, you got regulatory things. And so usually what will happen is legislators and lawmakers, in order to try to fill budget holes and gaps, they'll tax certain things. And in California, specifically, what they'll do is they'll start to tax the gas stations. Most gas stations are not owner operated by the actual oil companies. They are owner operated by individual people that then get a deal from the gas, the refinery, or whoever it is, whether it's ExxonMobil or BP or whatever. They get a deal in order for them to be able to brand their company on there, and then they get a deal to buy their gas at a certain amount at the cost. So when you're looking at these oil companies, they don't always get to necessarily control what happens as far as how much gas station owners are selling the gas for. They are giving it to them for a certain price, but they also got to continue to frack. They got to continue to drill. They got to continue to refine it. They got to continue to deal with explosions. They got to deal with employees. They got to deal with all of this stuff. And that does not necessarily translate into them being as profitable as they are, because believe it or not, oil companies, big oil companies, take large losses in their quarters. And I know because I study the market itself. So when they ask him, what are you doing to lower gas prices? He don't necessarily have no control. It's the gas station owners who are trying to remain afloat because they got a mortgage payment to pay, or they got to pay for the business. It's the legislators that are raising the prices based off of how it is that they're managing it and not making it a good environment to do business in. And then it's also the additional costs that come with that. So you can't just look at it from one lens. You can't just look at it from one lens. It's not buy it for $1, sell it for $2. Just because you see Chevron or Exxon or BP or Amoco or Sunoco on these gas stations, that does not necessarily translate into the oil companies necessarily making a whole lot of money as a result of it.
In the market, and I think it's a thing that Californians need to be focused on and concerned about.
So those two refineries, it's a Phillips 66 in Wilmington that's set to close by the end of this year, and then one up in the Bay Area, Valero.
If they're so profitable, why are the refineries closing in California? Think about that for a second. You don't close a business that's profitable. You get as much out of it as you possibly can. If they're so profitable, why are the refineries closing in California, which is basically going to spike the prices and make y'all dependent on foreign oil?
In the East Bay, set to close by the end of 2026. That accounts, so there's the Phillips 76 nearby in Wilmington. These account for about, will go up. This will theoretically increase the price, to your point about supply and demand. Chevron has moved its headquarters from San Ramon to Texas, where you join us live tonight. Are there plans to close the Chevron refinery in El Segundo?
Yeah, look, Marla, we don't have plans to close. We've been in California for over 140 years. We are proud of what we've done in California, but I think it's becoming quite acute. If we will have decisions that we will have to make going forward, and I am urging the regulators and state politicians to really think carefully about how they try to maintain reliable suppliers like Chevron. We are at a bit of a tipping point. You mentioned 20% more capacity comes offline. I'm not going to predict the future on pricing, but I can assure you with lower supply and still robust demand, I think California's playing a very dangerous game with refineries.
You just mentioned California legislators, our Democratic law.
He's warning them. Lower supply, higher demand. What is that going to translate into? Everybody that's ever took economics, everybody that's ever took a business class, when you have a low supply and high demand and bad politicians, what's the outcome? Yep, you hit it. You hit it. You hit it. You hit it. You hit the nail on the head. That is going to translate into higher prices, low supply, high demand, bad politicians that don't know how to create legislation and policy to make it a great environment. Is going to translate into higher prices, and the consumers, the middle class, are going to be the ones that suffer as a result of it. He's warning you. He's warning Gavin Newsom. He's warning the city. He's warning the governor. He's warning every single person that's in legislation in California. And this is why I tell people that you have to get involved. You have to know what it is that you're voting for. When you see these people run for office, especially locally, and they talk about these bullshit issues, I'm sorry to the daycares, they talk about these nonsense things that don't mean anything, that don't make an impact. You are basically talking to people and you're having them talk about it. When they talk about, oh my God, gay rights and all of this stuff, that ain't gonna have nothing to do with what you paying at the pump. That ain't gonna have nothing to do with whether or not you can afford a home. That ain't gonna have nothing to do with whether or not you can open up a business and if that business is gonna be protected. That don't have nothing to do with how they gonna fund police officers in order to keep people from breaking into your spot. When you vote, you can't just vote directly across party lines. You have to vote based off of who is best for the position, that's not necessarily willing to just hold a party line, but is willing to do the thing that's best for whoever it is that their constituents are. You have to vote for somebody that has a great relationship to the president, because them just saying we hate Trump, we hate Trump, we hate Trump is not going to translate into you creating a better environment and a better living situation for yourself. Somebody said they hate daycares for messing up the show. Why? We still kicking it. We rocking. We're rocking.
Mayors, we know we have a Democratic supermajority in the state. Is Chevron, are you actively in touch with lawmakers to try and have this conversation?
Yeah, we are. I mean, look, secure and reliable energy doesn't have a political affiliation. Democrats, Republicans, and voters in California want lower prices, and they want to have a surety of long-term reliable supply. We are talking to the regulator. We are talking to the Energy Commission. We do hear a little bit more conversations coming out of Sacramento about this, that they're prioritizing it. But talk, Marla, it doesn't do a lot. We need real action. We need real changes in the way things are done in the state of California for it to make a difference. And for Chevron to be interested in putting more money in and investing in the future of El Segundo and our Richmond refinery.
Well,
yeah, I believe that Cali is going to wind up being just for rich people. Cali is going to be the biggest no middle class state living place. It's going to be people that's pretending to be in the middle class and people that's pretending to be and people that's really living that hard life. Honestly, I believe that Cali is going to be it's going to be a rich person's playground, and it's going to be for people that want to really work to survive so that they can keep up an environment for the rich people to be able to play. It's going to look like the Hunger Games. Honestly, because look, if you got money, and this is what I don't like to have this conversation a lot, but because I know that people going to feel some type of way. If you have, now Cali is not ugly. Cali is beautiful in certain parts. Los Angeles is ugly. Oakland is messed up. Sacramento is tore down. California is phenomenal. There's parts of California you drive, I drove for 2 hours yesterday, 2 and some change from LAX out here to where I am. I ain't gonna tell you where I'm at. It's awesome. If you have money, and this is what money looks like. Let me tell you what money looks like in California. And I'm not talking about a certain amount. I'm talking about a lifestyle. Most people that I've learned that I know that have a significant amount of resources that's inside of California, their main residence is usually probably in Vegas or Texas or Tennessee. They keep a home in Vegas. Vegas is literally less than an hour away as far as a fly into LA. You can get from LAX to Vegas in less than an hour. Or Tennessee, or Florida, or Texas, something like that. And the reason that they do it is because they can afford to have a separate home because it costs them less in having that home than it would in what they have to pay in taxes. You're not hearing me. This is why you want to get money. This is why you want to eliminate the debt. This is why you want to get rich. It costs them less to buy a home in a different state and spend 6 months, 6.5 months in a different state that is cheaper. It's cheaper for them to buy a home and pay taxes in a state that does not have state taxes than it does to live the entire time in California and pay state taxes in California. It's cheap. Listen to what I'm saying. It's cheaper for me to have a second home in a different state than it is for me to live in one state and pay the taxes. So the people that live, work, and play in California, regular, everyday middle-class folk that they keep on trying to act like that they doing something for y'all, y'all are the ones that's going to suffer. You're the ones that are going to suffer because you are the ones that's going to pay the higher taxes, the higher gas prices, all of that. If I'm looking at places that cost in what is it, San Joya or something like that in San Diego, and my budget is roughly 20. All right, which means that if I'm there for 4 or 5 months out of the year, then I'm gonna pay around 100. Okay, for the year. Now, if I was to move to California at the amount that and it's going to be a business residence, it's going to be a content creator's house. And so you also got to recognize that the tax benefits that come along with it and looking at it. La Jolla, that's what it is. La Jolla, I'm sorry. You got to look at the tax benefits that come along with looking at it from what it is that I do for a living. So take that into consideration also. There are people, right? Think about this. Because the average cost, the minimum wage and all of that, there are people that's going to make $300,000, $250,000, $400,000 a year, and you're going to pay more in taxes than I do to go and visit there and look at it as a business benefit and write it off as a business-wise. For you to live there is going to cost you more than me to basically create content and vacation there. And that's the difference. For you to live there, it's going to cost you more than it is for me to vacation and create content there and look at it from a business perspective. And you got to pay property taxes. No matter what my budget is, I beat you as a person that work your ass off because your legislators look at you as a sucker. Your legislators look at y'all as suckers. And so instead of them creating a better business environment to where it actually brings in more revenue, more jobs, drive down costs, and increases housing and revenue that goes into the state. What they do is they say, well, we're going to run out all of the rich people. It's happening in Maryland right now. It's happening in Maryland. If the Mom Donnie guy wins, it'll happen in New York. It's going to happen everywhere. It's going to happen everywhere. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry, sir. We don't, I know you want my attention, but we don't recognize people that don't have profile pictures. All right. I know you really want to get my attention. So, anyways, all I'm trying to tell y'all is be aware, make more money, become more informed. If you're making more money, it's no way that you can't become more informed, because you're going to try to figure out what to do with it in order to stop giving it to Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass. All right. Maryland, they trying to run out all of the people that got resources. It's bad. It's just bad in a lot of places. Denver is happening. Obviously, Chicago is on the chopping block. But it is what it is. Anyways, I love y'all. Let me recognize the super chats, and we're going to get up out of here. Ghost of Cryptocurrency says relationships are like anime. Guys are the main story and women are the filler episodes. Grady says, I'm currently working 2 full-time jobs and I'm on my journey, focused, grounded. Can't wait to get on your level one day. No, you're going to be better than me. 50% simp. Thank you for the 20 ball. I appreciate you. Chris Cunningham says they smoking their people out with the man-made fires. Pencil Pusher says, I've always thought the biggest lie from politicians creating affordable housing. There's no real plan that can lower house prices. There are too many variables for any politician to control. They don't even build houses. How are they going to determine how much it costs? It costs them what? 100 and something billion? No, I'm sorry. It would cost them a bunch of money, billions of dollars, in order to build the homeless facility. It was the dumbest thing ever. They spent $29 billion on homelessness and they ain't even made a dent in it. Don't even know where the money went. Don't even know where the money went. So, anyways, I need to call my daughter. See what's going on.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
Hi.
You know what time you fight? How long is that?
I don't know.
All right, go ahead, take a nap.
Okay.
Let me know closer to the time.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. I got work to do. Dang, this is crazy. No live stream on a Wednesday. Sometimes I forget that it's Wednesday. No live stream on a Wednesday, but hopefully y'all are tuned in to the greatest show on earth. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to everybody else's platform, including the Red Cup Podcast with Mika, and all of my friends' platforms and everybody. Courtney Yeager, everybody. All right. Yeah, she was knocked out, wasn't she? Chilling. Anyways, I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow, same time. Peace.